This podcast is presented by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Welcome to Shift into Better Health, the National Diabetes Prevention Program's podcast series for lifestyle change program enrollees. For folks who want to improve their health, have more energy, and prevent type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. The Lifestyle Change Program is proven to work. I'm your host, Captain Jack, radio personality and former professional truck driver. Each episode in this series is led by drivers for drivers and will cover a topic from the National Diabetes Prevention Program's Lifestyle Change Program. We'll talk about how to tackle challenges professional drivers face so you'll arrive at your destination a healthier you, faster and easier. In the last episode, we talked about how to manage your food cravings as a way to take care of your health and prevent type 2 diabetes. This time, we'll focus on solving problems like a pro. But first, let me introduce my guests for this conversation. I spoke with professional driver Glenn Keller. He's an owner-operator with nearly 30 years behind the wheel. After he started making healthy changes, he lost over 35 pounds. Later, I spoke to Janine Clay. She's a health communications professional with more than 4 years supporting the CDC to bring messages about healthy behaviors to the public. Janine is also the niece of a retired driver and training instructor. She's turned to her uncle for help, making these podcasts real for drivers. As a driver, you continually run up against problems or challenges on the road. Could be traffic, could be road construction, could be a delay at the loading dock, could be the weather, a snowstorm. Whatever it is, we need to have strategies to deal with them in a healthy way. So Glenn, tell us about a recent challenge you faced and how you overcame it.
I mean, it's one of those things with weather. It's absolutely nothing that you could do about it. All it would take is hitting a patch of ice and it just ruins your whole day. Those are all things that are out of your control. You have to be able to control what you can control. The ultimate goal is to get there safe. So although I may not get there at noon, I'll be there by 3 o'clock. Whatever it's going to take to drive safely. I may not be able to drive 70. I may have to drive 45 or 50 if the ultimate goal is to get there safe. And so if the record has to come get me out of the ditch, then I didn't follow my plan.
So planning ahead and also being flexible is so important, both on the road and when you're going through lifestyle changes. So how can drivers use their planning and adapting skills to meet challenges related to living a healthier lifestyle?
You know, one of my favorite quotes is that if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. It has to start with identifying what the issue actually is. Why is it a problem? You know, what is it causing that's making it a problem? And that's the thing that you want to start trying to find information on. And then once you identify it, then you can start taking action or doing things to prevent it from becoming a so-called problem, then prevent it from becoming a bigger problem. There's really very few issues that can't be solved, but it's being able to formulate a plan, not trying to do it in the blind, not trying to think if I ignore it, it's just going to go away, but being proactive and saying, no, this is not the direction I want to go in. So where am I going to have to go to get the information that's going to get me back on the right path? So, you know, saying that reminds me of when I'm talking to people about goals. You know, that there are actually 7 tangible steps that you take when you're trying to achieve a specific goal, whatever that goal might be. Those same steps apply to it, whether it's something tangible that you can touch or whether it's something going on that you're trying to do. It takes having that plan to be able to get where you're going or achieve what you're looking for.
So Glenn, what are some of the common problems you run into when making those healthy changes?
Sometimes it's just as simple as being human and having, you know, what might be considered weak moments or not being able to always be motivated, but knowing that you can be because that's what you are most of the time. But you just get in a lull and you come to a place where concentrating is challenging. You know, you may take some of this stuff to bed one night, but then you realize when you wake up in the morning and after you've had some rest and separated yourself from it to realize it really wasn't as bad as you thought it was, that I just needed a little rest. I just needed to get focused. I just needed to separate myself from it for a minute.
So with all the success that you've had going through the program, making healthy lifestyle choices is still an ongoing process. Have you ever felt stuck in your lifestyle change journey?
Every once in a while, sometimes you just find yourself in a place where you know it's something you still need to be doing, but it's like that energy you had initially, the excitement that you had initially about it, the thing that drove you in the first place. And I guess the reality for me is you can't be on the mountaintop all the time. In order to get from one mountaintop to the next, you have to go through a valley. So the unrealistic expectation that it's going to always be exciting and you're always going to get up raring to do it. No, some days you're just not going to feel it.
And we all have good days and bad on the road and in life. Thinking about lifestyle changes, it's not a linear path. Sometimes you try one way to solve a problem and it doesn't work, so you try something else. Were there times you had to try a different path to find a solution?
I think the issue with me was my struggle came from having an all or none mentality, whether it was the sugary drinks or some other habit, instead of having the mentality or the notion that, okay, that I can kind of wean myself off of this. I just thought everything was like cut and dry. I don't want to do it anymore, so I'm going to just stop. But I realized, okay, at some point there may have been sugary drinks in my life every day. So like even now, occasionally, maybe I can count on one hand in a month's time, I may still stop and get like a regular 12-ounce drink. So I guess it goes along with that thing that says you could do anything in moderation. That all or none mentality, it never worked because, you draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not doing this anymore. And then in a not too distant future, here you are doing it again because it wasn't really the right way to do it.
Yeah, I bet. That all or nothing approach might have left you discouraged at times. So how did you maintain persistence and keep at it?
The question is, how bad do you want it? When it's something that you really want. And then I guess it goes back to the all or none thing because you may want it, but there's a way to get it. There's a way to accomplish it. There's a way to get there. We can't just do everything in the blind without giving any thought to it, without making any preparations or having a plan to get there. I started this out at like about 345 pounds. And so if my plan was to ultimately end up at like 295, if I get on the scale and it's not going down, then I'm not working my plan or my plan is not working. And I guess that's one of the things that I think I need to see, and I would imagine other people need to see, is progress. Something that's a marker to let you know that you're on the right path. Progress is one of the great motivators. It's like the better you do, the better you want to do.
So, Glenn, what happens if some part of your plan fails? How do you learn from it and move on?
Failing, oh God, it could bring about disappointment. It's something that can make you be down on yourself. And I guess it's something that if you allow it to control your thoughts, will make you say, I'll never be able to do this. But it's a mindset that you just have to do everything within you to dispel it, to say this is not true. I can do this. I need to make my mind up right now that I'm going to do this. And I need to make it up not in an all or none way. I need to make my mind up saying, this is going to take a while. I'm not going to accomplish this overnight. It takes a great deal of patience to be able to reap the fruit of your labor.
So, Glenn, what characteristics do you think make a good problem solver?
I'm sure there's some people that get lucky sometimes, but it's not luck when you have a plan because you really made up your mind that you're going to get there. I am going to get there, and this is how I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm going to sit down and formalize this plan. I'm going to search out the information that I need. I'm going to talk to the right people that are thinking like I am and that are trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do, and people that have already done it. And so all of those things come into place.
So who do you turn to when you need help solving a problem?
I found out early it's good to have a confidant, I guess, that's in your shoes, somebody you could talk to, somebody that's not going to be judgmental about it. Being able to seek out the information, the people, the organizations. There are organizations out here for truckers. If it's one of those issues that you just can't seem to get over on your own, but the mentality may need to be whatever it takes. I need to break this. Whatever it takes, I need to shake this. Whatever it takes, I can't be the individual that God intended me to be, or I can't be the driver I wanted to be if I don't get this resolved. Sometimes we have to come to a reality that we can't solve every problem. As much as we would like to, every once in a while they get over our head or they get out of our control. I have a little therapist, and, every couple of weeks we talk about some things that are going on. And I know growing up, that was like a taboo if somebody said something about a therapist or a psychiatrist, all that. I'm not crazy. Well, and it's not about being crazy. It's about every once in a while, you need to talk to somebody. Every once in a while, you need some things that you need to work through. Everything is not going to just go away on its own. And everything that we need to do, we're not going to be able to do it on our own. This little saying I remember growing up where it says, no man is an island and no man stands alone. And I guess I say all of that to say, even putting my own business out there, that sometimes we need help. When you get to a place that you need help, whatever you need help with, healthy living, being a better parent, being a better spouse, or whatever, life just seems to get out of control sometimes. And when it does that, just knowing that there are people out there to help.
Thank you for sharing that, Glenn. Being on the road and away from family and friends can be a stressful, solitary existence. And sometimes it feels easier to suppress or ignore our problems. But I'm here to tell you, talking to someone is a proven way to help solve problems and can be a critical step in helping you become a healthier person. Later, I asked Janine, a health communications professional, to share some pointers on developing strong problem-solving skills. She and her uncle have talked for hours about his professional driving career and ways to make positive changes. She recommends 4 simple steps drivers can take to solve problems when they arise.
Everyone faces problems in life, some big and others small. Everyday drivers face challenges on the road and solve them. And we can apply those same problem-solving steps to healthy living challenges. The first step in solving a problem is identifying what it is. I know that as a driver, you face challenges, being thrown off your regular schedule and not having the truck stops you're used to available. These are the things that would interrupt your routine. You may have your lifestyle change program too, such as learning how to eat in a healthy way, having more lean meat versus a whole bucket of fried chicken, learning how to move your body, and learning how to manage stress and fatigue. It's a lot on your plate. Second, identify the cause. Why are you having this problem? Maybe you're just too tired after driving all day and your delivery schedule is off track. Or maybe it's dark and there's too much snow on the ground and you don't feel safe enough where you are to get out and move around the truck for 30 minutes or 10 minutes. Maybe you didn't have time to pack up healthy foods in your truck before your run. Or maybe you're stress eating because of a problem at home with your significant other or your teenager. We've all been there. Our plans for healthy habits can be sidelined by life. What you do next is important. Identify ways you can solve your problem and try them. Finally, evaluate. Did your approach help to solve your problem? You may have to try several different things to find the one solution that works best for you. Be persistent, keep trying, and ask others for advice. Use that trucker grit and determination to make it work.
Thanks, Janine. Persistence can help you achieve your goals. Well, that's all for today. I'd like to thank Glenn and Janine for joining us and sharing their experiences and tips. Next time, we'll focus on ways to rally support from friends and family on your journey to a healthier you. In the meantime, think about your approach to solving problems in your life. Are you sticking to your plan like Glenn recommended? Are you following the 4 steps Janine outlined? Consider talking to a family member, a friend, or even a professional to get the support you need. Remember that America needs you healthy. Your family needs you healthy. You need to be healthy to continue living this trucking life. We're on this journey together, every mile of the way. For the most accurate health information, visit cdc.gov or call 1-800-CDC-INFO.